Welcome everybody to the Workshops Done Group Live webinar. Today is February 11th in 2020, and I'm so excited to see so many people on live with us today. So hi Amy, hi Jennifer, Lena, Shiva, Teresa, Danielle, come into the chat room, tell me where you're tuning in from, and I would love to hear from you something that you are proud of that maybe has happened in 2020. And it can be something really little. Maybe you made a phone call for first contact for a contract, or maybe you've given a workshop already first quarter, or you have something on the books. But I would love to just see some of the things, and I also encourage everyone, post all your challenges and successes in our Facebook group. There has been so many wonderful success stories, and I love to hear them. We're also here to hear your challenges that we're going to hear a lot of no's, we're going to hear not now, but that doesn't mean that we stop, right? We just keep going on a journey. So I am going to start the presentation off with our guest speaker, Jennifer March, and I am so excited that she is here with us today. She is with Balancing Life Issues, and it's a great opportunity for all the health coaches here about getting into their speakers bureau, because they need health coaches to give wellness workshops. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Danielle, or I'm sorry, I was just looking at Danielle's thing. I'm gonna unmute you, Jennifer. And let's see if I can get your video. I'm gonna press that up. Let's see. Jennifer, maybe you need to start. Okay, there you go.
Hello, everyone.
I'm so happy you are here.
Yes, I know. I'm very excited as well. So I don't know if you just want me to speak from the heart here, or if you would prefer that I put up a little PowerPoint to go through things with everybody. It's really, I think, what's more meaningful and to the attendees in terms of what they would prefer.
Okay, well, everybody, let her know. I would say, a little of both is probably going to be good, because a lot of the members in Workshop Done are extremely interested in joining the Bureau, but it's not a typical thing that they're used to doing. So it's good to know, what is your company all about? What do you do? And then how do they go about applying? And then how does that look after they get accepted? When you have a request for a wellness workshop, so the whole flow, and but I also would love you just to talk from the heart, and what this means, because as you and I talked about, Jennifer, we do this because we have this big passion to spread the word of wellness, and that suffering is really optional. And so the more that we can get our message out, the better it is for everybody. So, so you go ahead. I'm gonna mute myself so we can have a clear recording as well.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna start, and I'm gonna go through a few slides very quickly, just to show everybody who we are, give you a little kind of background information, and then we'll spend, the remainder of the time just asking any questions, if there's any information I may have missed, or, you're just interested in. So let me just share my screen. There we go, and I'm just gonna put it in slideshow mode, because excellent. So I hope everybody can see the screen. So as Lori mentioned, my name is Jennifer March. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for Balancing Life's Issues. Balancing Life's Issues is a health and wellness training company. We basically will provide trainings to anyone who wants one. So as much as I have here some different organizations that we work for, really, we are not in the say no business. We want to make sure that we have the ability to provide information and resources and inspire people, whoever that might be. So again, we are a training company. We have about 300 different topics in our training catalog. Those are broken down into different topics. So we have everything from, professional development to family and work life, community. We have financial and legal trainings, but I think what everybody here is mostly interested in is our health and wellness trainings. And we do offer a suite of, we probably have maybe maybe close to 50 different topics, whether it be yoga in the workplace or nutrition, exercise, fitness, clean living, all sorts of different types of health and wellness topics. Now, as a training company, we do provide all of the materials. So I just want to put that up front to everybody. And one thing that does set us apart as a training company is we want to make sure that all of the content is evidence-based. So we want to make sure that the information that we are giving to people who are attending these health and wellness trainings, they're sourced by reliable, research. What we like our trainers to do is deliver that information in an inspiring and dynamic way. So whether it be, going through the content, but making it alive. So doing activities, engaging the audience, all of those things that make for a great session, whether it be via webinar or on site. So I think what made me so excited about meeting Lori, and she had mentioned that this is like everybody's core, right? I mean, what better way to impart your knowledge, to people in terms of making their lives happier and healthier. And how can you do that best is by helping people live healthier lives. So our mission is really to engage, inspire, and educate employees to live happier and healthier lives. So we are a small company. We are a small women-owned company. We have a total of 8 employees right now, and that includes myself, as well as Wendy Wallner, who is the founder and Chief Executive Officer over at Balancing Life's Issues. But we are actually a very large company. So we have the privilege of touching over 1 million lives every year. So we do about 13 to 14,000 trainings every year. So, it's kind of mind-blowing when you think about the fact that, in 2001, when this was all coming together for Wendy, she basically had to use a phone book to try and get trainers. And I always laugh because, I'm on this webinar helping to, build a network of trainers, and I have LinkedIn and I have the internet, I have all these wonderful tools. Wendy did a fantastic job of really building this business from the ground up. And I think one thing that she is truly, truly passionate about is making sure that the people who are actually walking into that room and have the ability to engage and inspire the employees have the knowledge and the expertise to do so. A lot of times, we have the content so anybody can, read bullets from a PowerPoint, but we want to make sure that we are giving these employees the best possible experience that they can have. So bringing in trainers who really feel the passion, that Lori does and all of you do in terms of health and wellness. So just to give you a little background in terms of our trainers, we do, vet our trainers. All of our trainers do require a minimum of having a bachelor's degree. Out of our approximately 1,800 trainers, certainly a lot of them do have master's, PhD level education or other certifications in, whatever area of expertise they might be training in. We want to make sure that the people who are going in definitely have training, whether it be work experience or training experience in that area of expertise. And we want people to, again, be passionate. I can't say that enough because I think it's so important in terms of being able to engage and inspire a group of people that you have to be passionate, on the topics yourself. So I just wanted to share a few things with you. Now, in order to join our bureau, and I did put this on every single slide, I hope everybody was able to see, but you can actually join our bureau by going to our website, which is balancinglifesissues.com. And there's a tab, it's called Join the Bureau. On Join the Bureau, there's a little podcast that we ask you to watch, which gives you, information on some of the expectations we have of our trainers, presenting yourself professionally, getting in touch with the location contact to make sure that, dates, times, logistics, all of that stuff is up to date. But we have probably what we call providers. We have about 65, 67, maybe at this point, providers that we work with. Now, those are the companies that we provide trainings on their behalf. So depending on their reimbursement rate, we have a range in terms of how we can reimburse the trainers. So webinars, if you happen to be familiar with, WebEx or Zoom or any of those webinar platforms, and you feel comfortable delivering on a webinar, we do pay $75 an hour. All of the on-site seminars tend to range between $100 to $150. We have a couple of providers that do cover travel, but most of them, I say, will not. So you always want to make sure that you check the distance when request comes in to make sure that it is feasible for you. And then we do have health and benefit fairs. Now, health and benefit fairs, that's the one exception to having a college degree. But it's basically, it is a very busy season for us, so there is a lot of work to be had. But that's at the time when you're at a table and you are basically sharing information about health and wellness products that a particular company is offering their employees. One important thing I want to make sure that people know, if you are interested in joining our bureau, I would say about 80% of our business comes from what we call employee assistance programs. I don't know if everybody's familiar with that, but they are programs that employers actually purchase for their employees. And it's to help them basically manage their work-life balance. So things like no-cost counseling sessions are provided, childcare and elder care resources, legal financial consultations, and they also, as a part of it, provide a bank of hours so they can provide trainings to their employees. And so that's where we come in. The EAP will come to us, whether it be a part of an insurance company, Anthem EAP or Optum EAP, or a standalone EAP, and they ask us to vet the trainer for a particular request. Because we are providing the training on behalf of the employee assistance program, we do not allow the trainers to actually sell their services or promote their services, and I just think that's an important feature. But like I said, we have 14,000 trainings a year, so we have a lot of opportunity for you to be able to impart your knowledge and inspire people and help people to make healthy changes in their life. So besides that, once you go to the website, basically we need a W-9, an authorization for direct deposit, a non-solicitation agreement, and really your professional bio is probably the most important because we do send that out when we are confirming you. So basically what happens is right now everything is done pretty much through email. We will get a training request. One of our account managers, we have about 6 on staff, they will send out an email, whether it be to a specific state that it might be in or a specific area of expertise, and they will give you the logistics, the date, the time, the location, the topic, which is obviously very important. If you are interested and you're available, you can just respond back, yeah, I'm interested and I have a lot of experience in this, and they will let you know whether or not that you are confirmed. Now, I do, generally speaking, the rates, are also confirmed via email. When you do sign up for Balancing Life's Issues, you will have access to your own trainer profile. So you can put information in there on different areas of expertise. It's a place where we can hold your professional bio, what other forms that might be needed for us. You can put in, different regions that you're willing to train at. We have trainers who, go south for the winter. So, from December through May, we send them training requests in Florida, but, the other months we might send them all of their training requests in Rhode Island, just based on where they are logistically. So that's really it in a nutshell. I'm sure there are some questions and I want to be able to answer any questions. So I am just going to stop sharing my screen right now, show my face, and I'm happy to take any questions if anybody has any.
Oh, thank you so much, Jennifer. Do you go by Jen or Jennifer?
I go by whatever anybody calls me. Jen,
Okay.
some people call me Jennifer. If you knew me as a child, you can call me Jenny.
Okay. So it's all good. But yeah, I would love for everyone to come up with a question. What do you guys think? Is it something that you're interested in? Do you think that you are going to apply? I did have a question about when you said the minimum of the bachelor's degree. In the
Mhm.
workshops done group, there's a wide variety, all the way up to doctorates. But I know that there are a few that do not have a bachelor's degree, but they have certifications in
Mhm.
different things with health coaching. So is that still that they would only be able to do the health fairs, or is there any
There's a
gray
little leeway
areas?
there.
Okay.
Yeah, there is a little leeway there, especially if you have a certification. Typically when someone sends us the information, in professional bio, we review that and we'll set up
Okay.
a call. And so if we, feel confident that you have that knowledge, I think that's more important, honestly, than, I have a sociology degree. I don't know how much that helps me in terms of running a training company,
Yes.
but
Yeah.
um,
If that
so
helps
yeah,
with everything.
yeah, so we
Okay.
do have some flexibility in that. Now, saying that, are a couple of providers that do require that. What that
Okay.
means is you could still train with us, you just wouldn't be able to train for a couple of the providers.
Okay. And when you have these requests, do we get emails? Like, are we going to be inundated with emails, or is it just mainly going to be for our state and wellness?
It's going to definitely, so we are working on that. We have a new database right now. And so we're working on trying to, target more and more the
Okay.
trainers so a lot of the requests do come either to the state that you're residing in. And we're working on making sure that we try and target it just to health and wellness. We're not there yet.
Okay.
But if you see a topic and you can just delete it, there are times, and I will say, that we send emails to the entire trainers bureau. And I know for some people that gets to be a little much, but we can have, you can just request that you're on, you don't get those bulk emails and that you
Okay.
only get emails that are directed to, the location that you're in.
Okay. That sounds good. I know, because sometimes I think everybody has like an inbox that we're trying to reduce as much
Oh,
as
I
we can.
know. I know.
So Teresa says, it's totally sounds great. I'm definitely going to apply. I'm super excited about it. I know Heather Mitchell in Arizona, she already applied. Amy Benton asked a great question. She said, can you describe the topics under health and wellness, a little bit more information? I know you talked about, let's see, you said yoga, yoga in the workplace, nutrition, clean living. What else what
Yep.
are the exact
We do have,
titles?
you know what? Let me see if I can, give me 1 second. I'm going to see if I can pull up our catalog so I can give you some real specific information.
And Shiva says, I plan to apply as well. I'm in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, awesome.
Are
We have
there?
lots of training
Oh,
requests
I
in
was going to
Atlanta.
say Atlanta's huge. I bet
Yeah.
that they would definitely. Oh, that's great.
All right. So I have our, oh gosh, we have a lot more. So we have topics, some of them just to give you, I'll just kind of run through some of them. And I will say our training catalog is on the website. So you can, I'm giving you some titles, but also include a lot of, like a description every
Yeah.
time, for each one.
Yeah.
But I had mentioned things like clean living, but there are other topics like body image, conquering fear and anxiety,
Mm,
diabetes, eating disorders, eating right on the run and on a budget, things like embracing happiness. There are different types of exercise programs that we have, everywhere from, the beginner who, doesn't have a lot of activity in their life, to people who are actually working out regularly but just want, some more advanced information. We have things like filling the nutritional gaps, getting organized. We do have other things like you can be smoke free, maintaining a healthy heart, promoting family health. Sleep basics is a big one. We have some, sleep 101 all the way to, more advanced type of, helping people come up with um, ways to sleep better and have more energy. A lot of stress stress reduction type topics as well. That's just really a handful. I can tell you, we have, just looking at the catalog, we have a whole, so I don't know if that was helpful, or if you want me to go through the particular descriptions of those. I'm happy to do so. But like I said, they are listed on our website there.
Oh, Amy, I think you accidentally are screen sharing unless you want to show us something. Let me see if I can figure out what I'm. Oh, okay. Oh, here we go. All right, there we go. Sometimes I know it's like a little tricky with like the mouse and where you go and different things like that. Yeah, and I think a lot of those titles will relate well to many people here.
Mhm.
And I have to say, I have a sleep workshop that I give, and I was really surprised how popular.
It really is.
Like
Yes.
it is. It's one of those that I just know that it's always going to be full when I have it, because there's so many people that have
It's
issues
true.
with that. And then stress, I would say, is also a huge
Big
one.
one.
Kicking sugar, like nutritional things like that,
Yeah.
is really popular. Clean living, all of those I think are, I mean, they relate, and it's things that we talk about already. And I assume everything that you have is copyrighted, so they are not able to use your
Right.
materials anywhere else. Yep. Okay.
And certainly, if that's the case, if they love the material, I always tell people, we're a training company. We're not a marketing company, so we don't have the best of the best PowerPoints. But you can purchase our PowerPoints for use if that's
Okay.
something that people are interested in.
And how much are those?
It's $50 per use, so it's pretty reasonable.
So each time they use it,
Right.
it's a license. Okay. All right.
And just to let everybody know, in terms of trainings as well, I was reading off of our 2020 catalog. We are constantly trying to stay current. So throughout the year, we probably add a good 20 to 25 different topics. We're always there if there's like a sudden tragedy or something that happens. We will come out with a podcast and make sure that we get those out to our customers to make sure that they can support their employees, as quickly as possible. And then we always follow up and try and make sure that they have the support they need moving forward, not just the one and done 15-minute podcast, which we know is helpful, but not necessarily for the long term.
Okay. And once you have a request from a company and you go out there, you give the workshop, and they're like, oh, this is a great partnership, will they then just say like, okay, I just would like Amy Bitten again? Like, would they say who they want? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That can happen. And we always ask them to, refer them back to your account manager that you work with, and make sure that they, recommend that particular trainer, and we will then work together to make sure that you are chosen for those topics. That happens quite a bit, actually.
Yep.
Especially for some reason in our global program, because we've gone global in the past 2 or 3 years. They, like one trainer, and they use that trainer really the entire year. So there's a lot of opportunity. Mm-hmm.
And we do have some members that are in Europe, in Japan, in India. So do you have programs in some of those places? Okay.
We do. We have, we basically went from having about 25 international trainings a year to last year we had over 400. So we are growing quickly in that area, and it's really all over from, Asia to Europe to Australia, wherever.
Okay.
Yeah, it's growing. So happy to have anybody join Euro, no matter where they're living.
Yeah, that sounds great. I just wanted to share with you, Lena just said those were very helpful topics. Thank you. Amy said the same thing, just wanted to, that was very helpful to hear that. And then Shona asked, are the materials provided? So you're giving the PowerPoint presentation. Do they get handouts as well?
A lot of them come with training notes or a training kind of program that comes with it with notes for them. Not all of them do, but most of them do. Okay. And then any handouts, get copies of them. You're not necessarily expected to make paper copies and hand them out. That would be the site contact's
Yeah.
responsibility to do that,
Okay.
unless, there was a special arrangement made.
And then do we communicate with that site contact, or do you communicate with them to say,
So
here's the
typically,
handout?
that's a good question. So typically what happens is, so what we call the provider, who you're going, to present on behalf of.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to use Anthem EAP as an example.
Okay.
We're going to go to present to the client ABC. If you have any questions or concerns, anything, always come to the account manager that helped you to staff the session, but we always want you to reach out to that site contact about a week or two before, just to confirm logistics, find out if there's any particular reason why that topic was chosen, learn about the culture of, it's really a 15, 20-minute phone conversation. If they have any particular questions, you can just say, hey, let me look into that. I'll get back to you. You come to that account manager and we'll kind of work out the logistics. A lot of times they're like, oh, can you send me over the PowerPoint presentation? Some of our providers have restrictions on that. So I always say, come to that account manager. We'll work with the provider and say, hey, that client is looking for the materials, and they'll send them over.
Okay. And then typically, and I know with my corporate clients, everyone's a little bit different, that sometimes they want me to send it over so they can put it up. Sometimes I bring my laptop and we hook it up. So do people need to have equipment? I think almost everyone in our group does, the laptop, that in case somebody needs that.
It's different for every provider.
Yep.
But I always say, always nice to just bring that laptop just in case. And then when you have that pre-call with the site contact, just confirm, like, is the technology going to be there for me? Is it going to be set up? But as we know, technology can fail for anybody. So I always like to just bring my laptop as a backup. But that's me, because I like to and emergencies.
And they all know I have a lecture on what to bring, and it's always like the laptop, your presentation on a flash drive, and you've also emailed. It's like, it's always good, and then to have the handout in a paper copy, but then you also have it on the flash drive, because you just don't know, and you don't want to get into a situation where you're stuck. And when there's lots of different options, it's okay. It always works out.
And we have trainers who've been doing this for 20 years and they don't even need a PowerPoint. They can just speak off of, but I don't know if that's the average person. And I also think attendees like having that visual.
Yes.
So I think it's important to, just as a guideline, be able to have it, even if it's just on your phone, a copy of it on your phone, just to have it somewhere and in any form possible.
So I had a question about how many opportunities are there in a specific state? Like, for example, she's in Texas. And Texas is so huge. You probably would not want to take Shona, where are you in Texas? Because you're not going to want to drive too far if there's not a reimbursement for travel. But do you pretty much, somebody else says I'm in Cincinnati, so she serves Kentucky and Indiana as well. Yeah, and I'm very close, Wisconsin, Hudson, Wisconsin is just, 20 minutes from me. And I'm in Minnesota. So do you select which states you serve if you're on the border?
No, yeah, typically speaking, we will actually just look to see actually where that particular city is. And if it is on a border, we will definitely, a lot of times we're mailing like Tennessee and, just the bordering states.
Yeah. Okay.
Obviously, if you're in the middle of a state, it's a little bit harder. And really, when it comes to how often, it really varies by state. We have a lot of trainings in California, a lot of trainings in New York, have a lot of trainings in the Midwest. Atlanta's a big one. Texas, huge state, so it really just depends where in Texas. So the opportunities vary. However, if you are interested in doing webinars, then it doesn't really matter where you live, because you can do it from everywhere. You just got to be conscious of any time zone differences. But if we have people in Iowa. We don't have a ton of requests in Iowa, but we do have a few. They kind of supplement some of that by doing webinars.
Okay. So Shona's in Dallas. That's probably a big market for you.
Yeah, Dallas is probably one of Dallas, Austin, Houston, And then occasionally we get some in Corpus Christi. So
Okay.
that just
Okay.
comes to mind. We're always looking for people in Corpus Christi if anybody's in
Okay.
Corpus
Okay.
Christi.
And then Teresa was saying, she's from, like the Rhode Island, Massachusetts area. Do
Yep.
you have a lot of trainers there
Yeah, we
already?
do.
But you,
It depends. It's also hard because if you think about it, do we have a lot of trainers? We have a fair amount of trainers. Number one, we also want variety. We don't want to send the same trainer over and over and over again. And they're also not necessarily all health and wellness related. We have a lot of financial people in the Boston area that we use. We might have some behavioral health providers, but they're not going to give the same type of presentations that a health and wellness trainer would be giving.
And for the people who have the doctorate degrees in our group, is there a higher pay scale with the more education, or is it the same price for everybody?
Typically, it's the same price. However, there are situations that we can negotiate higher.
Okay.
And we are working as an organization to go to some tiered pricing.
Okay.
In that way, so people who have, more advanced degrees or, a specific type of experience can be on a higher scale. All of these things are in the works. I can't promise that they're going to go into effect next week or anything, but these are all things that we recognize need to be done in order to, be fair.
Yes. Okay, great. So we have some great questions coming in. Are you okay on time right now?
Yes, I'm fine.
Okay.
Great.
Okay. So Amy was just asking, what's the average time frame that we would get, before the actual date to prepare? So, like if we got an email today, are there some that's a week out, or is it more like 2 months out? What's the average time frame?
I would say the average is probably 3 weeks to 2 months.
Okay.
But we do get requests. Some companies like to plan their entire calendar for the year. So some providers, I will say, are sending things for June, July, August, September already. And then, of course, we have the lovely providers who want someone tomorrow.
Yes.
And we do try to accommodate all of that. Now, we wouldn't ask a new trainer necessarily, hey, we have a last minute request for tomorrow, can you do it? But because we have a large network, we have people who've done those topics over and over again and who are comfortable just kind of jumping in and doing that.
Yep.
So, that's just really somebody's comfort level and jumping in and doing something, being able to, cram the night before to learn some information. But I would say typically, we ask them for like 3 to 6 weeks lead time. Doesn't always happen, but
Yeah, that sounds perfect. That sounds perfect. Yeah, and we're all a little bit different in our comfort zones. I talk a lot about going out of your comfort zone.
Right.
And so I love opportunities where it's like, oh, it's tomorrow. Okay, I'm just going to learn this all and let's bring it on. And sometimes we just, courage is about feeling that fear, but going ahead with that anyway. And so it's okay to have that fear of doing something new, but it just opens up more magic in that comfort zone. It makes it bigger and bigger.
Those types of situations, they do not go unnoticed by our staff, because we know that. It's kind of stressful for us to try and have such a short lead time and get the staff. And certainly, our account managers, many of them train themselves, so they understand what it's like to just kind of in and just do it. So
and sometimes you might have a trainer that's sick, or there's like something that's like, okay, she or he cannot go tomorrow, but especially if you've done the training before, it is easier obviously to just say yes. Okay.
Right.
But yeah, I like that you said that you noticed that. So then we need to be checking our emails all the time, because it's probably first come, first serve of who says yes, right?
It's kind of fast. It is a little fast because we are a high volume business. However, it is important that we're picking the right person. Certainly we will speak to you and we will say, hey, this comes from this group. Let's, and I can, personally promote some of these people to make sure we're actually this is probably a perfect time for people to join the Bureau, because starting next week, we are actually having a competition, because we want to make sure that all of these new people that we have coming in are getting opportunities to train. So we are having a competition to get new trainers to get out there and get some work. So Um, you
So this
know,
is perfect timing.
it is. Now that I think about it, it's absolutely perfect. Yes.
Oh, that sounds great. Oh, we have some great questions. So thank you everybody for asking these fabulous questions. Keep them going. So Amy's from New Jersey. So first of all, how's New Jersey for requests?
Oh, perfect.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. Amy's asking, what's the typical length of your presentations? Are they usually an hour?
Usually an hour,
Okay.
sometimes an hour and a half. Some are 2 hours. Very rarely do they go beyond that. I would
Okay.
say the majority are hour in length.
Okay. Sounds good. And
Yeah.
are they all over the board for time of day, or are they typically like breakfast, lunch?
They're kind of generally, I would say, we do get a lot of lunch times. There's the 10 a.m.s, the 12 p.m.s, and the 3 p.m.s are
Yeah.
probably the most common
Okay.
times. Occasionally we'll get early morning. Especially if we have a company that has different shifts, you might get,
Mm-hmm.
an after work 6 or 7 p.m. But
Mm-hmm.
I would say for the most part, they fall between, work hours.
Okay. And with the companies, what I notice when I work with a company that is a 24-hour business, I will give the exact same workshop 2 different times. So do you get those requests
Yes,
too? Okay. Yeah.
absolutely. And there are times that you'll see there'll be a request. It'll be either for the same topic 3 times that day,
Yes.
or there might be some related topics, depending if they're having like a day-long workshop for all of their employees, something like
Yes.
that. So, it varies from having like a lunch and learn where they just want people to voluntarily come if they're interested in the topic, sometimes a more formal conference, where they're having different workshops throughout the day. And depending on that, if you're qualified, you could get a handful of those every day. Sometimes the topics do vary, so it's like you're not going to do a legal training if you're a health and wellness expert, and vice versa. So at
Yes.
that point, we would have 2 different trainers.
Yeah. Well, and it's amazing. In our group, we have a vast array of talent because many of us had a career before we came to this
Right.
career.
Yes.
So there may be some opportunities. I was 25 years in event planning and convention visitors bureau, hotel management, that role.
Yep.
So those are my clients now. But yeah, it's just amazing because there's accountants, psychiatrists. I mean, it's this a very wide variety.
No, and we get that all the time. This like ability to kind of cross train based on
Yes.
kind of your previous life. I mean, I was a licensed clinical social worker for 10 years, so I
Oh
have
my
that
goodness.
same type of kind of
Yes.
crossover. So
Yeah.
absolutely,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. So everybody, make sure if you want to talk about your other talents, make sure you also put that on there. Yeah. And Lena has a great question. So on the website for joining, it asks for just a short 3-minute video of the person presenting. If they don't have a recording, can they just record just like this, a webinar?
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Yep. Just
So
kind of
just,
say hi in a video and, maybe just do a snippet of something that, you're passionate about, ask yourself
okay.
a question or two. It doesn't have to be anything formal or anything of that
Okay,
nature.
okay. So yeah, and with the workshops done, they get 3 full workshops that I've written and, speaker notes and marketing materials, everything. And so I'll suggest for you to do, like the Stress Busters one. That would probably be a great one
Mhm.
to do some sampling because that's already a topic that you talk about and you know a lot about it already. Yeah, Lena says like she spent 13 years in the dental field, so she loves working with dentists. So I think too, it depends on the company. We might be talking about
Yeah.
health and wellness, but when I go into restaurants, hotels, all that, I just feel at home and I know what they go through,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So Lena knows like if it's a dental company, she's like, yeah, I get it. Your arm is like going in these weird directions
Right.
the entire day. We need to do some yoga. We need to do some things like that. So,
Right.
um, okay, and then another question is, ever book, let me understand this. Do they book for 3 topics for the month? Okay. Amy, I'm not quite sure if I understand the question. Ever book mini series due to the company's time restrictions? Or do they book for 3 topics for the month or whatever?
You saying like, do they ever have like a 15-minute sessions versus an hour-long sessions based on time
That's
restrictions?
I think so. And I've had that where I've had to do like 7 workshops in a day for 3 days, but they're each 30 minutes each because
Yeah.
there's 4,000 people coming into these breakouts. So do you ever have it that, I think that's what they're saying too.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
We
Jennifer.
do, less common.
Okay.
But we do have, a lot of times there will be maybe some 30-minute sessions, and they'll be, like back to back. Like I said, they are less common, but they do happen. Like I said earlier, we are not a no company, so if they have a special request, we're going to do our darndest to try
Yeah.
and accommodate it.
Yeah, and I love that. I think, just like every body is unique, every company, every client
Yeah,
is unique, and we want to help them the best we can. So why not be flexible? And I think we are all flexible as well. And then when they do their information to you, is it helpful for you to know that they've gone through this whole workshop STEM program, which is very extensive? It's modules. I mean, it's something that they go through with about for 12 weeks with all these videos and worksheets, but then it's just an ongoing
hmm
of personal development. But does that help for you to know that?
it does help,
Okay.
absolutely, because it gives
Okay.
us, some background that you're not just, coming in, having never done this before, but you just have an
Yeah.
interest in the topic. And so when you apply on the website, all of your information will come directly to me.
Okay.
Usually I'll reach out, or I will forward it to one of our senior account managers who loves to onboard. And there's always going to be an opportunity to share that you were a part of this group, and
Okay.
that's how you learned about BLI, and we'll
Okay.
know. We'll know.
Okay. Okay. That sounds great. Yeah. And most of the people watch these as a recording just because it's during the
Hmm.
workday. And some people do have clients at this time or a different kind of
Sure.
job. So, are you open? Like, if somebody has a question, can they contact you, or what is the best way?
Absolutely. They can either
Okay.
email me, which I'm sorry I didn't put that on the on any of my slides, but my email address is jennifer@balancinglifeissues.com.
Okay, thank you. And I will post that in an email and in our Facebook group so everybody has
Perfect.
that with the recording of this video. Anybody else have questions? I think we're going to wrap it up with Jennifer. But yeah, Amy said that's exactly what she meant with the mini series.
Oh, good. Oh,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Good.
I feel like I'm always like, we have to just be open-minded because you just go through different things. I just did a workshop and I thought I was going to be in this one room, and all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm totally somewhere else. And it's different than what I expected, but it was like, it's okay. It's
Yeah, you just got to
different.
kind of go with the flow, and it,
You,
makes you a better person.
because sometimes they make last minute changes, and so
Right.
they can't always communicate oh, all of a sudden you're up on
Timely.
stage in front of thousands of people, okay, or you're going to be smaller, or so yeah, so I love that your company embraces just flexibility as well. But thank you so much. We really appreciate your time, and we are excited, basically to be a partner with you to
Yes.
help with all the education and enthusiasm that these coaches have to be out there in public, and that you need the trainers. I think it is a perfect marriage
Absolutely.
that we can work together. And yeah, so people are just saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. So
Yes, I'm very excited. I love all of the interaction that everybody has, even on the webinar. So thank you. It was
yes,
a pleasure.
yes. Yeah, we talk a lot about engagement because I think it's more fun that
It
way.
is. It
People,
makes it more exciting, and people
yes,
stay interested, especially when you're talking about Zoom. You want people
yes.
to be involved. So
Yes, yes. Well, thank you so much. And we just really appreciate your time and answering all the questions and giving us the lowdown. And
anytime.
I think there's going to be a lot of people applying. And I think I might even apply. I think it would be a great experience
Yeah, why not?
just for me to see how you do it, and just get a different perspective from where you're at.
Absolutely. No,
So
I look forward to it. Thank you, everybody.
oh, well, thank you. Have a great day. Everybody else stay on. We're going to keep talking, but I know, Jennifer, you have other things to do today. So,
Yeah.
yes. All right.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye. All right. All right. So was that helpful for all of you to hear that? And I'm always going to be keeping my eyes and ears open for opportunities to bring to you. So please let me know if you hear something that I can talk to somebody. I just 2 weeks ago was at a Meeting Planners International event, and I was leading a wellness table. And it was just so interesting talking with them, and that people really need to have more trainers, that there is this need for all of us to do that. So I'm going to just quickly go in to talk to you a little bit about some of the new things in Workshops Done, but I also want to have this time to ask for you to ask questions or things that are holding you back, things that have been great successes. So please let me know what you think. Okay, so Shiva says, I think it's a great way to put myself out there. Yeah, I think this is a great opportunity. Yeah, obviously the pay is lower than you normally would get. I think it's going to be interesting to see, what their research is, how they go about doing it. I think that's just going to be a really good experience. But again, the main thing is, you cannot promote yourself. But I have to say, when I do corporate, I don't promote myself anyway, but I do always have my contact information, and I talk about clients. So it's still inferred that, so I still have had people call me to be my clients. But I think the more experience that we can get in different environments, the stronger we're going to be and the more confident we're going to be. Yeah, she was like, again, it's a great way to put yourself out there. Teresa says, I have a question that you may or may not know the answer to, but is there a way around, if you do speak and you're not promoting your services, is there a way to get those people on your mailing list or work with them at any point? I would say probably not. Now, in another conversation that I had before this with Jennifer, she said that there is something in the works, that there's going to be some workshops that you give that there's no promotion, but then there's going to be some workshops that you do give promotion, because there is a need for people to have a health coach to work with somebody individually. So there are going to, thank you for asking that, because we did not talk about that. That it's not something that's rolled out now, but they're seeing that there are times that there is going to be an opportunity like that. But yeah, for corporate, I don't get their emails typically. I will ask the meeting planner or whoever I'm working with, like, hey, I'm happy to email everybody the worksheets, these recipes, different things like that. Most of the time, I'll say, I can do it, or would you prefer me to give you those resources and you email them out? And typically it's the latter. And just because they're paying you to give that information. So I think it's really an individual basis, but absolutely, when it's a public one, it's the purpose is for promotion. But as I said before, I always will give stories throughout my workshops. So even when it's a corporate, I will infuse it. So I was just the keynote speaker. So it was 150 people for this luncheon, and it was all these great questions afterwards. And it all came down to health coaching. I mean, all these questions like, this is my issue, what would you do? And all this stuff. And I thought, wow, this workshop was on resilience. But they want to talk about their child, or they were just really open. And I thought, because I infused these different stories of successes and challenges of my clients, they knew exactly what I did. So yeah, and I did, I got some emails. I put this on the tables because it was a luncheon and I didn't feel like my business cards were going to stand out, and I was able to have my banner, which matches this. So so that they could just take something and they just really simple know what I do and different things like that. So let's just see. Does that answer your question? Let me know, Teresa, if that was good. Danielle says, yeah, no pitch sales are sometimes the winners. I agree, Danielle. I think when we are not, I just feel really uncomfortable being like that cheesy kind of salesperson. So so as you've all heard in my lectures, it's the stories. And when they can picture themselves in that position, they're like, oh, I'm addicted to Diet Coke. Oh, she's worked with other people who've gotten off a Diet Coke, and now they're thriving in life. I want to be that person. So yeah, Danielle. Yeah. So she says if they have to work to find you, they're easier on the sell. Yes. Yes. When you give them your information now this is twofold. One, yeah, it's great when they contact you, but when you have their information, it is nice because then you're making it even easier for them to respond back to an email. So, yeah, and then she was like, yeah, I agree. Danielle's like, yeah, thumbs up. I agree too, Amy. Diane says, could you pass out the postcards and your contact yeah, with the recipe on it. Yeah, so for this other one, it was the Edina Rotary. So I did not do a recipe on the back of this card just because they told me the day before that I could do a postcard. And so I just quickly went to Staples and did something simple. But a lot of times I have a recipe on the back of this card. And so they said that I could, and so I did that. And so a lot of times with companies, I I won't have it so big and bold what I do. I'll do that smaller, but you can have a recipe on the back. I think you've all seen that on my Canva, that I have a recipe for a chicken meal, and then I have my contact information. So yeah, I think it's great when you can say, oh, and I have a recipe that would fit with this, detox workshop, or a recipe that is really good at cutting sugar. So, is that okay if I hand them out? Or you can just say, hey, I have some recipes at the table. If anybody wants to take one on your way out, feel free to grab it. So you just have your name and your email and your website and your phone number on it. And so you're not really selling, you're just giving the recipe with your contact information. So yes, Diane, I love that question. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, Danielle is going. She's going to catch the replay. I'm just going to keep this a little bit shorter because we're already at 52 minutes in, and I like to keep these under an hour. So please ask any questions. I'm just going to do a quick share here because there's been some updates in the workshops done. So here is everybody seeing the sugar workshop? So just to let you know, I have added on video with some office chair yoga ideas. So you can do this. This is in with the sugar one. This is in with the stress one. That sometimes when we're doing the tip about get moving, that we might want to just take a break, especially if you're doing like a 90-minute workshop. It's great to get them moving, and people love to be engaged. So that's just a 20-minute video, a tutorial on how to teach you to teach it. And then also I had a request of, do you have a video of me giving a workshop? And so I was recently doing the sugar workshop at a little public event for Soul Fest. And this is the one that I was in this really god awful room, and it was like down a hallway, like people couldn't find it. It was just very surprising. But anyway, Mark was there, so I had him do a couple snippets of me just giving the workshop. And just so you know, I did not prep at all. I like walked in and did it. So there's a little bit off script, but it's just about sugar is addictive is one clip, and then another clip it goes right into the different tips and things like that. So I wanted to let you know that that is there. Also, when you go to the courses.workshopsdone.com, you can always click on the tab that says all courses, and then you see everything that's available. So the Done For You Secrets to Sleep, the 25% off is going on right now until Thursday. So that is just for members of Workshops Done, and the code is member25. And I just want to show, let's see. Okay, here it is. Because I've had two coaches that have done this. So I think it's very hard to see. Once you select that if you want to do 3 payments or the one-time fee, then you get to this order summary, and sometimes it comes and it starts down here. And so you have to scroll up to see it. And then this is where you add the coupon, and then you add the member 25, and then it will apply. So just if your screen comes down here after you do it, just make sure you scroll up so that you can get that discount. So it's just $89 a month for 3 payments. A lot of people like to do the payments with that. And then let me just go back. Oh, and then if you want to see the sleep, there is a promo video here, so you can see the PowerPoint presentation, speaker notes, all the things. It's a big workshop. So I think it's great as a series for 2 or 3 workshops, or you can make this into a 3-hour workshop. But if you do a 60 or 90 minute, the tips, I just go really quick. It's high level, which one thing is nice because then they really want to work with you, but people are very passionate about this workshop. I had no idea it would be as popular as it is. And I'm giving this, oh, you know what? It's a corporate group. It's actually at the University of Minnesota. So I probably won't be able to record it. But whenever I'm doing public ones, I'll try to do like snippets if I'm doing something from here. Okay, let me go. Okay, so workshop's done, the actual signature course. I've added some things onto here. And so it's always good for just look through it and go like, oh, I haven't seen this one before, because it depends on when you've been here, if it's new for you or not. All of the replays for each module are in the module. And then I'm just going to scroll down. So where this one will be, the group calls, is all the way to the bottom. So when I don't have an active class, then we do the monthly group calls the second Tuesday of the month at noon Central Time. So this is where the recording is going to sit. So module 3 and 4 has some new things. So module 3 is a lot about promotion. And one thing I love about Workshops Done is that it's been developed by all of us, right? We are all the developers. So you have asked me, you know, for different things, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, okay, I can do that. And so I did some videos, how to create event in Meetup, how to create and share a Facebook event. That's another video. How to create and edit an event in Nextdoor. How to create an event in Eventbrite. So those are all new videos that if that is something that speaks to you, some of you have done it, so you don't need to watch it, but if it's something that you're like, oh my goodness, I would love that, that would be great. And then let's see, this public events template, let me just see if I have it. Okay, did it just go to my Word document here? So this is, I just made this last night because I have a couple of public events happening. And so I wanted to write down all the different things. And so I do this every now and then, that if I have public events that may need some more help promoting, I will just print this off. And then when I go to teach my yoga classes, when like today, this afternoon, I'm pitching at a new company to do some workshops. I'm going to give them each one of these. So it's like, hey, come and see me live, you know, different things like that. So you can, oh, I am doing Secrets to Sleep also as a public one. Okay, so that's perfect. But this is a new template. Also, just so you know, Eating Healthy on a Budget, that is going to be up for sale in Workshops Done in March. So if you wanted to start to think about that and budget for that, that will be up there as well. And let's see. And I'm not sure if I don't know if you actually saw that share, because it may not have gone all the way through there. Okay, I'm going to go back, stop sharing. Yay, thank you. And you know, I'm just thinking, I don't know if I did I go all the way down to module 4? Okay, let me just look here. Just to make sure that you've all seen the package programs for annual clients, the workshops agreements, corporate examples. I put a lot of those things up here as well. And then the webinar series. So that's a 3-part series, why give webinars, what you need to give a webinar, giving and promoting your webinar. So those you may have seen, you may not have seen. So I think that I'm just looking at all my tabs that I have open. Oh, and let me just quickly explain. Some people have asked, what is this pre-detox training webinar? So this is just for health coaches that are doing the 5-day detox with Julia Sarver. So this is a training webinar that you would welcome your people. So it's not about sales. I just realized that when I was giving the webinar, I kept looking down at my notes because there was so much training to give to your people that that I made up this webinar and with the training things and everything. So you can look at the promo video and you can see it includes not just the slides, but also how to make it your own colors, sample video of me giving it, YouTube webinar covers, social media graphics, Canva tutorials, different things like that. I'm also working on a second webinar. It's going to be the exact same content, but it's updated more professional looking slides and different things like that. So you can choose which one you would like to have, and that will be up probably by the end of the week. But you all always get 25% off of this one. So it's just that member 25, that code is always valid. And I mean, it's not much. I think it's like 59, maybe $59. Let me just look real quick. Yeah, so $59. So let me just see. So it really is a good value if you just want to have a professional slides so that you just can be confident and going right through. So yeah, so it comes to $44. So anyway, just wanted to let you all know that that is available as well. So let me just see what other kind of questions you have. Okay, so everyone's saying thank you. So just so you know, because we're at the hour mark, I'm going to probably just end here, but we have next month is our March event, and it is going to be, let me just see if I can, oh, maybe I don't have my Facebook up anymore, but we are going to have Heather Mitchell as our guest speaker. And I would love to hear from some of you. If you are interested in being a guest speaker, please let me know, because I think some health coaches, it's really nice to hear what they have all done and how Heather has really gone above her fear. So it's going to be March 10th. From at 12 p.m. Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And she's going to be really talking about how she puts herself out there to book and give workshops. So please mark your calendar for that. And all of these monthly live group calls are going to be, it's just that second Tuesday in the month. So just hit that repeat on your calendar so it is on there. And notices are always going to be on Facebook, so please come up. Next month, I'm going to I want to highlight the success. So I'm just going to let that go for today because of time. But next month, we're going to talk about different health coaches and the success that they've had. So you might see sometimes I hashtag success. That means I'm just going to go back and reference that. But please, post all of your successes and your challenges on there. Oh, and Amy's is asking, just to clarify, the pre-detox webinar is also promoting our detoxes. No, thank you for asking. So I would use the detox secrets, that one to promote, or sugar to promote. Those are ones. The one that's the pre-detox training webinar is the welcome webinar when you have your 5-day detox start. So you do a webinar, usually that Thursday before you start the 5-day detox that starts on Saturday. So this is, if you work with Julia Sarver's 5-day detox, it's all of her terminology in that training video. So you're teaching them why they want to detox, why they want to detox, to confirm why they purchased this already, and then what we're going to be doing, what they might experience, that we're taking out gluten, just basically going through the handbook and different things like that. So you can look at the promo video so you can really see what it is. I mean, there's some slides that I like have used similar into the Detox Secrets workshop, but this is really just, you're like, welcome, we're starting the 5-day detox. I'm so glad you're here. Hey, this video is all about training. This is going to be telling you what you're going to be doing the next 5 days, things like that. I just had so many health coaches in Detox Done ask for this webinar. So I decided just to put it up for sale and actually like create it so that it's, you know, it's a detox. I use cleanse and different things like that. So thank you, Amy, because I know it's confusing because there's the sales detox and then there's this training video. So there's no speaker notes with it because that comes with the 5-day detox if you purchase that through Julia Sarver. So, but thank you all so much for either watching this, you know, live, or if you have the recording going. If you have any questions, post into our Facebook group. I love the interaction because if you have a question, there is probably a 99% chance somebody else is going to have that question. If you want your information to be reviewed, your e-brochure, wherever you're at on your journey, post it in the group, you know, so that you can get lots of different feedback on what you're doing. So thank you so much. Okay, thanks, Diane. I'm so glad you tuned in at the last minute. I know you had a meeting going on. Let's see. Suzanne says, I'm so behind everyone, but enjoying every minute. You know, it doesn't, I'm so glad you said that, because no, you're not behind everyone. There's many people at different timing for this journey, and you're exactly where you need to be. But with that said, I think the reason why I do have it so that we go through as a group, because it gives us an incentive. So there's many people who are still going through the modules, and that's okay, but I would absolutely create a timeline and post it in our Facebook group, see if there's anybody else that wants to share that timeline with you so that you can be accountability partners. But I know for my own self, when I sometimes go do something by myself, I don't have as much motivation as when I know I'm doing something with a group. So it's more of just, it's a little more fun doing it as a group, but that's why I want to have these monthly check-ins so that wherever you are, you can be like, hey, I'm on module 2 right now and I have these questions. Ask them here. We can group coach anything that you want. My job here is to help you be that successful health coach that's giving workshops and that you can put yourself out there. So let me always know how I can support you the best possible way. But thank you again, everybody. We're at hour 8, so I'm going to let you go. Wishing you all a happy February. Bye-bye, everybody.